And if you're not being stretched or growing, there's nowhere to go but go backwards. And I refuse to do that. My name is Delma Moreno, and I'm a business director with OIC. I started clerical work in my 30s. I advanced to administrative assistant, and then I went into preparing and going to school and preparing to be a school teacher. I did homeschool, and I thought being a school teacher was going to be my last career. I was wrong. I love to teach, but it was very difficult. And a friend of mine was actually doing insurance business, and people had, over the years, had tried to get me to do insurance, and I always said, no, I'm not interested. But the way he did it is he fished me in. Very, very non-threatening, and piqued my interest. So I decided, while I was working on my master's, and I was also working full-time teacher, got my license. So that summer in 2012, I actually quit my job and went for it. Just took the plunge and went for it. And I absolutely loved it. It was so different from what I had done in the past. But now I had to learn a whole new field. I'm learning something new, something I did not think that I would be able to do. Recruiting was the most challenging thing I've ever done in my life. I had a limited amount of knowledge on social media and limited amount of people that I knew had a life insurance license or who wanted to get licensed. So it was very challenging to me. I didn't know where to get people or how to do it. And I slowly started to do LinkedIn and do profiles and Indeed, and it has evolved. The way I approach my business has really been a growing process. And I never thought that I would be recruiting like my team is, okay? I'm running with them in recruiting, but I'm not the only one doing it. I really want them to duplicate what I'm doing. And in order for them to be able to duplicate what I'm doing, I have to do something. They have to see me do something. As far as meetings, I have them shadow me. I shadow them. We do joint meetings. And it doesn't matter whether the associate is part of my team or not. I'm there to serve them. As I've said a little bit earlier, we have a system. So when I do appointments, I'm doing appointments in Texas, Oklahoma, New Mexico, and now we're going to start making and doing what we have been working in the last 6 months. So everything has not been in vain, and I'm not asking them to do anything that I'm not doing myself. If I work 12-hour days, they know that may be something they want to do, and I tell them, it's up to you. But right now, I'm on a mission. If you want to run hard with me, follow me. I do at least minimum of 30 to 40 teacher appointments per week. Every appointment, I should be able to take something from that. Otherwise, I'm not growing and I'm not getting better. But most teachers, at the end of our Zoom meeting, because I do all my appointments on Zoom, I always ask them, has this information been beneficial to you? Would you mind sharing my information with your coworkers, with your colleagues? And that's what we want. We always want to strive to be better. Doesn't matter what everybody else is doing. You just go out there and do it. You have to travel to the cities where you have agents and do training with them. So I said, okay, I will start in Dallas. For me, it was a big step because it would be something I would never have done on my own. And if you're not being stretched or growing, there's nowhere to go but go backwards. And I refused to do that. I had an incident happen where I met with a client in February of 2021. He was close to retirement, and we went over the whole retirement plan. He had started teaching about 21 years ago at that time, had been married 13 years. And one of our questions to our educators is, have you updated your designation of beneficiary? He says, yes, I did. But there was not anywhere we could look to see if he had done it or not. I just took his word. Come around August of 2021, he was having surgery. He pulled out money out of his account. He didn't have very much in his 403B. And then come March of 2022, he had a stroke in the classroom and passed away. Very, very sad. And I reached out to his wife to get that death benefit to her as soon as possible. And at that time, she had somebody that was helping her. Come to find out, she was not the beneficiary on the account. That was devastating for me because I felt like I had not done my job properly in making sure that that had been done. So my job and my mission is to make sure that they know when they can retire, what their gap will look like, is their beneficiary form in place. So that's very important to me now, much more than it was then. Someone that you're trying to help, you have to be able to read the situation and be able to change and adapt to the person or persons that you're talking to. It's not a one-size-fits-all. You have to constantly be turning around to be able to meet their needs and to build rapport and to gain their trust. When I first joined OIC, I was going to do this part-time while I finished out the school year, but I was on the verge of bankruptcy at that time. I had accumulated so much debt from my practice company, from chargebacks and paying for leads, hotel, gasoline. I wasn't making any money, even though I had a small team. So I took a sabbatical. And in the meantime, in fact, I had almost given up on insurance. When I decided to join OIC, I had to scramble to get my license back up in order. I came in and with the thought, okay, I'm going to do this part-time until the end of May. When school is out, then I'll go full-time. But the Lord had other plans for me, and I actually resigned and came on full-time. And I felt like I had just jumped out of an airplane, but my income was replaced in 30 days. I've paid off all my debt within 2 years and then turned around and bought a brand new vehicle. And I have great plans for my future. I do have an empty lot that I want to develop and make it for housing. And there's actually at least 3 homes right around the same area that I want to buy, demolish, and build some duplexes, because my heart is to be able to help the seniors have a nice, comfortable, clean place. What better place than a brand new place? And have a property for each one of my children and grandchildren, and hopefully great-grandchildren. And that's my goal. To me personally, life insurance is really important because people have to protect their families. When my grandparents passed away, I got a doll. I was a young girl. Then when my parents passed away, they didn't have anything to give to my children. So my purpose is that when I pass away, my children, my grandchildren, and my great-grandchildren will also be able to benefit from it. One of them is already in pre-K 3, and it blesses me that I'm investing into her education. I am investing into the future of my great-grandchildren. And I've got 5 of them with 3 granddaughters, and so I'll be working for a long time. You know, when I'm having those down days where it's difficult for me to continue on because of a situation or just not the best meeting that I just had, what I'll do is I'll just close everything out and look at my desktop. On my desktop, I've got 2 of my great-grandchildren pictures on there. I see their beautiful smiles. So that's what keeps me going. And then I'll get up, take a walk, and then come back. And then I'm back in control and everything. My perspective is much, much better after that. To my younger self, I probably would say, get married a little bit older, have children a little bit older, and then build the family and accomplish those things that I have accomplished now because I lost a lot of time with my own children that I wish I could bring back. But being a single mom with 3 children, I had to do what I had to do. So I missed a lot. And a lot of responsibilities were placed on my older son for his 2 siblings. So the one thing I would leave to my children would be is always keep striving and pushing forward to enjoy life to the fullest. Don't wait, don't live in regrets. Let the past go and move forward.